So, let's talk about the Suicide Squad. Some of the most notorious types of characters you ever find, or meet, per se, in the world. The scum from the bottom of the barrel. Now, the Suicide Squad is, I guess you could say, like a sequel, sort of, kind of reboot to the disastrous 2016 Suicide Squad. So some of you may have already noticed that a good chunk of the cast from the original film is supposedly not in this movie. Now, I don't know why. Maybe it's like, maybe the actors and actresses didn't want to be in the sequel. Maybe it was a contract thing. Maybe they just had other projects to work on. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but anyway, so I've seen both trailers of the Suicide Squad. First one, I didn't really care all that much for until I saw Starro the Conqueror. Truly one of the more powerful intergalactic beings in pretty much comic books entirely, so. And I was really happy to briefly see Starro in the trailer because, like I said, he's like a Justice League villain, kind of threat villain, so to have the Suicide Squad, which consists of a talking shark, a Harley Quinn, and a guy who wields a boomerang, to go up and take on this giant intergalactic starfish who can produce smaller starfishes and who kind of like could get on the face and stuff. You see right here, it kind of like brainwashes the person, whoever wears it. And I'm just really happy to see. I'm happy to live in a time where I get to see Darkseid, Thanos, and now Starro the Conqueror on the big screen. Like, these are like some of the most notorious and powerful beings in the comic books. So, with the antagonist part, I'm looking forward to. The second trailer to this, I was a little bit more hyped, I will admit. The first trailer I didn't really care for. The second trailer, I was a little more hyped. You know, I think it's cool that the squad has like a lot more characters, even though it's more from like, you know, not a whole lot of big names and villains that aren't exactly the first to come in mind. They're more like C-list, D-list type of villains. But I'm sure James Gunn can make it work. He's made the Guardians of the Galaxy work, so I'm sure he'll find some way to make this movie work. Returning for this is Viola Davis as Amanda Waller, Margot Robbie as Harley, Jai Courtney, and Rick Flag. So there are going to be some familiar faces in this, as you can see in the poster. From this poster, as you can see, there are quite a bit of characters and a whole lot of, I guess you can say, sort of nobodies nobody really knows or barely even remember. So I think, I'm guessing, I'm going to take a wild guess right now that at least a third or 2/3 of the squad aren't going to make it by the end of the movie. That's just my guess right now. Because these are names that, that aren't necessarily the first type, aren't the first people that pop into your head when you think of notorious supervillains. So that's my guess, and I'm willing to bet a whole lot of the types of people types of the squad aren't gonna make it. Like, I mean, I'm sure that Harley Quinn and Jai Courtney are gonna be around by the end of the film, so that I have no doubt about. I definitely know for a fact that Harley Quinn is most likely going to continue being in future movies and such. So I'm pretty confident about that. Here it is. So I'm willing to bet right now that a good chunk of these people aren't going to make it. If I had to wager some money on this, I would say Mongal won't make it. The Ratcatcher won't make it. I know for a fact that the Weasel will definitely not make it to the end. Savant, TDK is probably not going to make it to the end, as well as the Javelin, Blackguard. We'll see. The Polka Dot Man. Yes, that's a real villain. I know. It's a Batman villain. Also, maybe, I don't know if he'll make it to the end or not. I know for a fact that Harley will be around. Maybe Captain Boomerang. Definitely Bloodsport and Peacemaker, who is played by John Cena. I'm sure he's gonna capture the character of the Peacemaker just fine. And for those wondering, the Peacemaker is just kind of like a rogue Captain America. He's willing to do anything for peace and freedom and liberty, no matter the cost, etc., etc. He's pretty much just a rogue Captain America. That's just the character in a nutshell. Hopefully, this film will be better compared to 5 years ago, or hopefully there's an extension cut to the film from 5 years ago. But yeah, hopefully this film will be an improvement. I'm sure James Gunn will make this work. I believe the film's already finished filming. I think the production stuff is all done. I believe he said there weren't really any reshoots, which that's a bold move, and hopefully that doesn't cost him. We can only hope for the best.